Hello and welcome to this episode of Maths with Mr Amison. Today I'm going to be looking at subtracting vectors. Now, before you move on to subtracting vectors, it would be useful if you've done some adding of vectors, which is in the link above. If you have already had a go at adding vectors and you understand how to add vectors, have a go at this warm-up exercise that is on the screen now. Okay. So you should have had a chance to have a go at these 6 questions, and we should get the answers here. So just check your answers and see how you did. If you need a recap of how to add vectors together, add column vectors together, then please do go and review that before watching the rest of this video. So when it comes to subtracting vectors, let's think about what the vector minus b in this case would look like, what it would be. So if b is 1, 4, that means 1 right and 4 up, then minus b, well that's the opposite of b. If we think about minus b being minus the vector 1, 4, then minus b is the vector minus 1, minus 4. And you can see how with the number on the top here representing 1 to the right, the negative of that number meant 1 to the left, which is the opposite. 4 here meant 4 up, and minus 4 means 4 down, therefore we have the opposite direction again. So minus b is just the same as the vector b, but in the opposite direction. So if we think about comparing a add minus b with a minus b, then we get these diagrams here. Take a moment to have a look at these and take a look at the conclusion. So is he right? Use the diagram and conclusions to justify your answer. If you think he's right, then you'd be correct. He is right because minus b, if you think about it, our vector minus b, which is over here, is minus 1, minus 4. So we're adding minus 1, minus 4, and when we add these vectors together, 5, add minus 1, so 5 right and 1 left is 4 right altogether. 3 up and 4 down is 1 down altogether. And if we think about the subtraction, a take away b, 5 right, and then we're going to do the opposite of 1 right, so we're going to do 1 left. 5 right, then 1 left is 4 right altogether. 3 right, then 4, opposite of 4 to the right is 4 to the left, which is 1 to the left altogether. So you can see that these end up being the same thing, and it becomes a simple calculation of 5 take away 1 is 4, and 3 take away 4 is minus 1. And same with adding them up. If we've got a plus sign between them, it's 5 take away 1, 4, 3 take away 4 is minus 1. And it ends up being a rather simple calculation. And this diagram here shows the same thing. If we think about a being 5, 3, that's 5 right and 3 up. And then minus b would be minus 1, minus 4, 1 left, 4 down. So a take away b gets us to here. If we have a plus minus b, it will also get us to here, this vector right here. Alright. So take a look at these questions, see if you can have a go at them. Okay, so you should have had a chance to have a go. The vector r minus the vector s, well that's the vector 2, 5, take away the vector 1, 6. And we could write that as 2, 5, add minus 1, minus 6. They're the same thing if you recall. So we could do 2 take away 1 to get 1, and 5 take away 6 to get minus 1, or 2, then minus 1, 2, then 5, then minus 6. So we get the vector 1, minus 1. S minus t, in a similar way, 1, 6, take away minus 3, 0. Now the nice thing about doing it this way is instead of having to think about taking away minus 3, we can change this to mean the opposite of 3 to the left. Well, the opposite of 3 to the left is 3 to the right. So this is the same as adding the vector 3 to the right. So thinking about this negative between the two as doing the opposite of the next vector is really helpful to get the vector 4, 6 in total. 2r minus s. If you remember how to do 2r, 2 of this vector would be 4 to the right and 10 up. Taking away s, so taking away 1, 6, which gets us 4, 10. The opposite of 1 right, 6 up is 1 left, 6 down. So we have the vector 3, 4. And 2r, take away the vector s, take away the vector t. So we have 4, 10 again, take away 1, 6 again, and this time we have take away minus 3, 0 as well. And we can convert these again to say the opposite of 1 right, 6 down, 1 right, 6 up, sorry, and the opposite of 3 left, which is 1 left, 6 down, and 3 right. When we add these together, 4, take away 1, add 3, and then 10, take away 6, because we're just doing the horizontal components and the vertical components, to get us the vector 6, 4. Alright, I'm going to leave you with these 6 questions for you to have a go at now that I've explained how subtracting vectors works. Do continue to do your best, work hard, and see you soon.